We're also going to need some husks to tie them up. Some of the husks are softer, and some of them are a little bit more hard or more coarse. So the harder ones, or the more coarse ones, they're a little bit more difficult to make. With the tamales, it's just they're a little bit harder to roll. So I like to use them for the ties. All of the steamers are up to a boil at this point, so they're all rolling. I've got them turned down. We just need to keep an eye on the amount of water that's underneath in the steamer, because if it burns out, then we burn out the pan and we damage things. So we need to make sure that we keep an eye on the water. Okay, so I've got some ties here. I've got my corn husk here. I've got a bit of the chicken filling that we've made, which is over here. And we have some cheese filling here that Ellen put together this morning. So you can do a mixture of either one. It doesn't matter to me. It's completely up to you. Like I said, the recipe doesn't even have a filling in it, which I find incredibly boring. Because there are no tamales that you would get if you're in a store or a shop or in Mexico that doesn't have a filling in it. They're always going to have some sort of filling. So that's why I wanted to make sure that we had two different options today. So you can just take some of your dough. And remember, you don't want to overstuff them. You want to make sure that you're not doing too much on the inside. Less is kind of more in this scenario. So you're going to want a piece of dough roughly this size. Okay? If you want to weigh them and then do the exact same amount for everyone, you can do that as well. So I'm just going to press this out in the palm of my hand just to flatten it, trying to keep it as even as possible so that we don't have a thicker part and a thinner part. Try to keep them the same. And all you're doing is trying to create a bit of a pocket here. And then you're going to take some of the filling of whatever filling you choose. And again, try not to overstuff them. Okay, and you're going to tuck that mixture in. And you're just going to keep folding over. You want to try to get it sealed. If it's not completely sealed, it's not the end of the world, but you want to do your best to try and get it fully sealed. And then you're going to put that directly into the corn husk. And then you're going to simply roll them. And again, do not try to tie them too tight. The tighter you try, because they do want to, but not super tight. So once we get it rolled like this, I'm simply going to twist my one end. I'm going to wrap my husk around. And you're simply going to tie it off. You want to do a double knot so that it does not come undone. And make sure that knot is secure. Then you're going to do the second side. Again, trying not to make them too tight. Okay, and then again, I'm going to tie that off with a double knot. Okay, and those are ready to go. That's exactly what we're looking for. And then you can look. Yeah. And you're just going to do your best to tuck that inside. And again, careful not to go too tight. Now we're stuffing these with corn husks, using corn husks as the holder, and that's primarily because we're using a meat filling or a cheese filling. If you were on the coast in Mexico, most likely if you had tamales, they would be wrapped in a banana leaf, and they would contain seafood instead of meat. So you'd get clams or shrimp or something like that inside, but it'd be wrapped in a banana leaf, which is fun too. And you can find banana leaves